Welcome back to Broadsheet Sydney Around Town. If this is your first time here, don't forget to hit subscribe and ring that notification bell so you never miss a video. I'm Emma Joyce, features editor at Broadsheet, and I'm the host of this 10-minute audio guide to Sydney. I'm very excited about today's episode because we're welcoming a special guest, Patrick Johnson of Johnson Femme. The tailor is going to be here to talk about his new Paddington showroom for his Femme collection. But first, we're speaking with Dan Cunningham from Broadsheet. He's going to tell us about a third venue from the team behind Pellegrino 2000 and Bistro 916. Let's get into it. Hi, Dan.
Hi, Emma.
How are you?
I'm very well. How are you?
I'm really good, thank you. And you've got some exciting news for us. The team behind Pellegrino 2000 and Bistro 916, they're opening a new place.
Yes, very exciting. It's going to be a big year for the CBD, I think, because we have this place, which is called Clam Bar.
Right.
And we spoke about Palazzo Salato last week by the Love Tilly Divine crew. But yeah, Clam Bar, it's opening in April.
Clam Bar sounds like seafood. Is this a seafood place?
You are correct. It is a sort of a riff on a classic New York seafood and grill restaurant.
And who's on the grill?
On the grill, we have Dan Pepperell, who we know from 10 William Street many, many years ago. His pretzel with whipped bataga is still on the menu. He hasn't been there for a long time. But he was also pretty foundational in opening Alberto's Lounge and Restaurant Hubert, but has since gone on to do Pellegrino 2000, as you said, and Bistro 916 before that. But he's in there with Mikey Clift, who is formerly of the Rockpool Dining Group. And yeah, they're in there and they're doing their thing. Such
a stellar team.
Very much so.
What kind of dishes do you know about so far?
Obviously, steak is going to be a big component. So we're probably going to be seeing some kind of large format steaks. But then obviously seafood is the other side of it. So oysters served many ways, shrimp cocktails, and whole fish kind of cooked over fire, that kind of thing.
Sounds delicious. Where in the CBD are we talking?
So it's going to be in the site that was formerly the Bridge Room.
Oh, okay.
Which was a pretty, sort of well-established fine dining restaurant by Sonny and Ross Lusted, who now are at Woodcut in Barangaroo. Yeah, it's a really cool kind of changing of the guard, I suppose. And yeah, we can't wait to see it.
So these guys tend to work with excellent people behind the bar as well. Who's on drinks duty?
So on drinks is the third co-owner, Andy Tyson, who was the sommelier with the Swoolhouse Group for many years. And yeah, you can expect, if you sort of had the amazing wines at Pellegrino 2000 or at Bistro 916, we're basically expecting a similar showing of well curated wines.
So it opens next month. How can we find out more information?
The best way to find out is to follow Broadsheet on Instagram, Facebook, or you can go to the website, which is broadsheet.com.au/Sydney.
Thanks, Dan.
Thanks, Emma.
Patrick Johnson, hi, how are you?
I'm well, how are you?
You have to be probably the most elegant guest we've had in all week. You are well known as being the founder of Johnson. You're a tailor, you work with custom clothes, and you're here to talk to us today about your Femme line and a new studio in Paddington.
Yeah.
Can you tell me a bit about the studio?
We were a menswear business. We've been going for about 14 years in menswear. We started out as a custom tailoring business and we've sort of grown to do ready-to-wear and a whole bunch of other things. We have showrooms in Sydney, Melbourne, one in New York and one in London, and a business in Italy. So we've just been doing men's for sort of 14 years and a lot of requests for women to do women's tailoring. And we held off for quite a while because I always wanted to do this, but I wanted to do it properly when we're ready. And we like to take our time with things. But about a year and a half ago, we started the project just pre-COVID, and then COVID slowed it down. And a year and a half ago, we decided, okay, let's do this properly after a lot of trialing and start to see how we can help women out in the same way we have men. So we have this women's showroom. We started inside of our men's showroom in Sydney, and then we thought it grew out of that, and we thought we need a space, a standalone space just for women.
So I've seen some photos of it, and it looks really beautiful. It looks kind of private as well, and maybe like a special experience if you're shopping. Can you describe what it looks like?
Really, from the outside, it looks like a Paddington Terrace. It's attached to a building which has a great restaurant in it called Barbetta. When we got the building, we're very conscious of making the experience quite unique when you go inside and quite memorable, and very much nothing really like our men's spaces. We wanted to have a unique kind of feeling when you walked in there, somewhere cozy and quite different. You know, I find with retail now, especially when you go down the high streets around the world, everything just looks very similar. You know, they get on sort of slight trends, but it's basically the same thing in different modes. And I didn't really want that. I want something quite unique. My wife is the interior designer, Tamsin, and she really, when she came with me, when I came to her with the concept of this space, she said, "What do you want?" And I said, "Listen, I want you to sort of go for it with this space. I want something quite different, and I want something that's sort of uniquely feminine, but in no way girly. I want it to be quite strong and powerful." And then jokingly, I said, I sort of think I want it to feel like Liberace's powder room, you know, as a bit of a joke. I think we just seen behind a candelabra or something on a plane. And she really went with that. So you walk in and it's got all the walls are painted with a marble effect from these amazing artisans that we've used on a few jobs. Very bright. The ceiling, Tam put this beautiful, slightly warped mirror. We started with a normal flat mirror on the ceiling, but it was too revealing. It was like you feel like you need to look at it and see your reflection, but the slight warp mirror sort of makes the whole room seem like it's sort of a bit playful, and it opens it up it opens the light up, and it makes a bit of I hate using the term fun, but it sort of brings a bit of life to the space. It's not a huge space. It's 2 levels. So the downstairs big sort of walk in, and our Femme business is about 50-50 ready to wear and custom made. The ready to wear is all really short run ready to wear. So there's a big display of what we do in there. There's some beautiful chandeliers. There's a beautiful artwork by Colin Young in there as well. And so it's a very calm space, and it's just got some of our offer on display there. And then you come up to the second level, and one of the rooms upstairs is sort of very much showcasing our tailoring and what we're feeling about tailoring in that moment. And that changes about 4 times a year with the seasons and with the mood. It's quite a large room with a big desk in there, and then you can sort of have a private consult in there, but also a big fitting room. And it sounds quite hectic, what I've just said. But the space, it's actually quite calm because you feel like you're coming in someone's home. And that's what we wanted to feel. People come into the home and take your time and have a look around, and we're here to sort of help you, and you can come in and have a look and feel hopefully very comfortable and not like in any way you've been rushed. And our whole philosophy in our business is to slow down. Our company motto is actually live slow, die old, which is sort of like a bit of a flip on the head of the late Vivienne Westwood's motto. But it's that idea of slowing down and taking your time, and we try and focus on building these, beautiful wardrobes that last a very long time for our clients.
And how has it been received? What are the items that you've seen women come back to? Or
so in the beginning, when we're just women's suiting, in the beginning, it was received really well. We did a lot of suits and it was great. But we really wanted to dress women, just for the day-to-day, and for events like we do with men. And so we needed to add more into the range. So we added a whole bunch more, and slowly we're just adding a lot more the whole time. So we do a whole bunch of knitwear, and we do denim for women, and we do skirts and evening gowns and stuff like that. But all in this way that we want to sort of make clothing that is not too complicated to wear. It's quite easy, but then also not boring, like a lot of clothing is pretty boring. So you wear something that's beautiful. So we a lot of focus on fabric. We weave a lot of the fabrics just by sole commission by us, and we work with the best weavers in the world on this, and a lot of focus on finishing. And a lot of these garments actually made in our tailoring factory, so at a really high standard.
What do you have in the pipeline in terms of the Femme collection?
There's lots, when we started Femme, I was doing all the designing for the men's and the women's. And about 6 months ago, and a little bit longer than that, my business partner, Tom Riley, who's my best mate, his wife studied fashion design with my wife. It's a very family business. And she came on as a women's creative director, Emily, and she's been very busy with lots of different things. So we just shooting winter now coming up. We've got a whole bunch of different coats, from technical, like long, like puffy coats, to which kind of sound awful, but they're very elegant, to a whole bunch of different things. We work in camel hair and cashmere a lot. We've just started a splittable program, so splittable cashmere, but custom made, which is we're the first person to do that. We're doing some beautiful footwear out of Italy for women, just like little things where we think we can find a little bit of beauty, and there's nothing sort of at that level that we quite like in the market, and accessibility and stuff for our clients where we can kind of add a little bit.
I'm sure people will want to travel to the Paddington studio to be able to come and either be fitted or to come and try on clothes. When is it open?
It's open Wednesday through Saturday, and we sort of say if you want to come in, just you can just drop in. Saturday's obviously a very busy day, but we've got quite a few people on hand. Then you can drop in, or if you want to have it a little bit more private, you can book an appointment online and make sure that you get all the attention you want. But if you want to have a browse, just drop in.
It sounds wonderful. Thanks for coming in.
Pleasure. Thanks.
And that's all we have time for today. But as always, you can stay up to date with what's happening around Sydney at broadsheet.com.au and at broadsheet_Sid on Instagram. I'll be back next week. Same time, same place. Chat then.